Hi, we have a victory. Well, not me personally, but all of the campaigners who campaigned for the travel card not to be cancelled in January. TfL, those effing liabilities with the biggest liability of all in charge of them, Sadiq Khan, have U-turned and announced that the travel card that many people use to get the trains into London will still be an option to purchase to travel into London on the train. Getting rid of it would have caused even more problems for people living in and around London, because not only would businesses have been affected inside of London because less people would have been coming in, but suburban areas out in London and also in bordering home counties like Essex, Kent, Surrey and Berkshire and Hertfordshire wouldn't have had people clogging up the roads parking to try and get cheaper rail fares into London. Anyway, there is another way of cleaning up the air in London, which doesn't involve stupid Ulez zones being implemented, and that is to get rid of the private rail companies when their contracts to run each railway division, if you like, in favour of a national railways. So, in other words, renationalising the railways. This would free up lots of cash for new projects and new railway lines to be brought in, as well as new rolling stock to be brought in, and hopefully a much more reliable service, rather than these private rail companies who were just putting profit running the railways with profit in mind. I said back in 1996-97 that privatising the railways would be an absolutely horrendous idea, and years and years later, the way the railways have been run and the absolutely extortionate prices that they charge to use the railways has just proved how right I was. So really, there needs to be a plan put in place for the railways. That's to basically, at the end of each railway company's contracts, contracts running the railways, they should just get rid of them. Not bother renewing the contracts. Just put a national railway in charge, and then eventually, once it's all renationalised, just put every profit that's being made can then be just invested into rolling stock, better services, new railway lines built everywhere. I mean, there's so many that should be built and just haven't been. And that would eventually lower the price of them, so it's cheaper to run than just jumping in the car and driving into London or wherever. So then that would be how you'd clean the air up, and not bringing in stupid ULEZ zones, which are just absolutely pointless and do very little to improve air quality anyway. I mean, if you go to central London, they're even going to be basically putting in a congestion charge for battery operated vehicles. What's that all about? That's ridiculous. Battery operated vehicles don't commit any emissions at all. Don't give out hardly any emissions at all. And personally, I think that should be extended. I think they should ban that and ban having the congestion charge for battery vehicles, and also not have a congestion charge for hybrid vehicles into London, and also lower the congestion charge for petrol and diesel vehicles as well that are Euro 6, that are Euro 5 and Euro 6. So that's how they should do it, personally, in my honest opinion. And also bring a cheaper rail service in. So eventually, once all rail projects have been done, once the railway has been nationalised and new rail projects have been put in place. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. Take care, everyone. See you soon.